Hi everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA, and the word is out that, and it's no secret, that we're undergoing a horrific drought. And so Los Angeles and its surrounding counties are actually, to be honest, Southern California is reworking their landscape. Now in the old days, we would just, for a landscape, we would just put water-loving plants. We'd do impatiens, which suck up a lot of water. We would do regular grass, which sucks up a ton of water. And those days are over. It's gone the way of the dinosaur. In fact, if you want to know something, people have said, well, this drought may not last. You know, if we get an El Nino, we're just going to go back to the old ways. Well, I'm here to tell you we're not. And here's why. Because it happens to have become common knowledge in the consciousness of Southern Californians that the cost of water, to bring water to Southern California, here's an interesting fact. We don't have a whole lot of water. We ship in most of the water to Southern California that when you turn on your faucet, your sink, it's always there. It comes from over 1,000 miles away. It goes over mountains to get to your faucet. So the energy cost is about 20% of Southern California's energy goes to pumps, the power the pumps that bring water to your faucet. So it's a great energy cost, it's not sustainable, and so can we do better as a society? And the answer is yes. From a sustainable viewpoint, we can still have beauty, and I don't want to see society going the other way and say, okay, let's rip everything out in blacktop, or let's rip everything out and put grass, let's rip everything out and put gravel or synthetic turf. We can do better than that. You know what? Synthetic turf, it'll fade. It only has a 7-year warranty on average against fading. And then what? In 7 to 10 years, millions of acres of synthetic turf go to the land dump, and then what? And then it's for future generations to take care of? Nah. We can do better as a society. Guess what? If you do a native drought-tolerant landscape, you can do it with very little water, you can have a lot of beauty, and you can have something that can be passed on to future generations. For an example, check out these. This is not gravel, this is not synthetic turf. This is a plant palette. The most gorgeous plants of the planet, whether they're agaves or senecios or pelargoniums, lavender, ceanothus. Look at these beautiful kangaroo paws. They're absolutely stunning. It just takes a little bit of forethought. Hire a professional if you're, or you might be a do-it-yourselfer. You might be spending tens of hours scouring the internet, and then also look what's good for your local territory, because plants are very localized for the most part. Once you put the plants in, make sure they're drought tolerant or don't need a lot of water. There's a lot of different terminologies for that: indigenous, native, climate appropriate, California friendly. It's all about the same thing, more or less. Okay, then once you put the plants in, you put the drip irrigation in. And so the drip irrigation is this tubing that's actually looks like this. This is the Rainbird Copper Shield Technology drip irrigation tubing. It has a little tiny pinhole every 12 inches, and so it lets out water. So you don't have the evaporation, you don't have the wind drift. It's fabulous to use. Read the instructions if you're not going to have it done professionally. You can do it yourself, but I would recommend reading the instructions. You got to put the air relief valve, the proper filter, the right valve. You can only do so much of lengthwise off of each valve, and if you do that, you'll be okay, or consult a professional. The professionals at the CLCA, California Landscape Contractor Association, you can go on their website, you can pick from a list of professionals there, or there's Angie's List, Yelp. But this type of landscaping, I would say choose a professional organization like CLCA to do something like that. We did remove a lot of lawn from the front yard. It was pretty much all lawn. And what are we going to put back here? Are we going to put some drought resistant or drought tolerant ground cover? No, we're actually going to put grass back. But let me tell you about this grass. It's a native lawn, and we're not putting plugs where it's going to take 2 years to establish. We're not putting seed. In a couple hours, we're going to have a delivery of native sod, and we're going to do another video on this, and it's going to blow your mind. You're going to think, wow, it's the most gorgeous lawn you've ever seen in your life, but it's native. It actually takes 2 years to grow, but the farmers who grow this stuff actually been growing it for years, and so when you call now, you know that it's stuff that has been in the ground for 2 years, and they've been babying it and taking care of it. The good news is that it will suck up a lot of carbon that's in the air. You're going to be reading a lot more about carbon in the air because grass is a huge carbon sink. It sucks in the carbon and it gives us oxygen. If people are putting in gravel or they're putting in a lot of mulch and they don't have green, then it's really, you're going to read a lot more about carbon in the news. Also too, we have drip irrigation underneath here. We put a DG pathway here. So DG is decomposed granite. Look at how beautiful this is as a pathway. It just really works. It's a fabulous thing. It doesn't need to be irrigated, so we did no drip irrigation to that. We did drip irrigation to the plants. We did underground drip irrigation to the to what's underneath here. That's going to be the native grass. And then right here, wanted to show you this really neat thing. We actually got there's these stones here. This is called a drought tolerant ground cover. It's called Diamondia. We just planted it, obviously, so we're going to clean it up. But here's the interesting thing. How are we going to irrigate that? Well, in the old days, we would just put some spray heads on them and done with it. Spray, like the Rainbird 1804 spray heads. Now, each one of these has drip irrigation going through it. It's a little bit time consuming, but remember, you only do it one time, and then you're done. We have a few more drought tolerance. And you know what? Sustainability is about reduce, reuse, recycle. They had lights here. I didn't try to talk them into replacing lights. We cleaned these things up and then we're reusing them again. It's fabulous. And if they want to replace lights, we'll do LED lights next time. So this is just giving you an example of what can be done. You only get one shot at this. That's why we're making the video. One shot to show you kind of a behind the scenes look at how a landscape installation is done right. We're going to show you the after video and you're just going to gawk and say, oh my goodness, you know, that's what I want. Go on our website for more tips and ideas, suggestions on how to do this. This is Mike from Enviroscape LA. That's our website, enviroscapela.com. This is Mike from Enviroscape LA talking to you about life, how to make California more beautiful for the future, but use less water. So when you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.